Spie dal mondo.
Salve a tutti signori e signori,
signorine, maschi,
eccetera, eccetera.
piccoli e anche quelli che non sono ancora nati. Ciao a tutti.
tutti quanti
e benvenuti
a un'altra puntata di Spie dal mondo.
Noi siamo
sempre Max.
No, al contrario, devi dire. Noi siamo. No, devi dire il mio nome.
Ci alterniamo, ogni volta diciamo al contrario.
Ok,
giusto,
allora noi siamo.
Vabbè, Nino.
E Max. Nell'ordine sbagliato.
Sempre sbagliato. E
oggi è una di quelle puntate in cui
abbiamo un ospite speciale.
Sì, più speciale dell'altra.
Più speciale dell'altra. Ma no, non perché Marica non fosse, per carità. Marica è stata eccezionale, ha fatto delle reaction veramente importanti, molto genuine,
non studiate. No, vabbè.
No,
allora,
seriamente, questa volta abbiamo una vera spia dal mondo, però.
Sì.
Perché effettivamente una persona che è di un altro paese e quindi ci porterà un pochino di informazioni. Come sapete, a noi piace quando riusciamo a portarvi la visione interna, il punto di vista più interno, che è quello che esula un po' da informazioni che uno può trovare su internet, sulle linee, sulle guide turistiche, cioè sulle pagine Wikipedia, insomma, qualcosa di autentico. Oggi infatti con noi, se Antonino vuole introdurla.
Sì, innanzitutto piccola parentesi, sarà una puntata fatta in inglese, chiaramente.
Chiaro, ovviamente. Quando ci
abbiamo
le nostre spie dal mondo, ancora non abbiamo trovate molte che parlano italiano.
Insomma, non è molto facile.
Non è facile.
Vabbè, spie italiane. Vabbè. Quindi oggi siamo qua con Joana.
Ciao a tutti, benvenuti.
Okay.
I try.
It's okay, perfectly fine. Okay. We can cut. Yeah, it's okay.
Ciao a tutti, benvenuti a Spie dal mondo.
Perfect. First try.
That's a real, a proper Italian pronunciation. Thank you, Joana, for joining us. Or maybe it's more us joining you.
At this point, yeah, because we are in your country right now.
Yeah,
because guys, as we mentioned in the last episode, it was actually the first episode of the third season, so go check it out. Today we are still in Madeira. Madeira is an island in the middle of the ocean, which is part of Portuguese territory, the Portuguese country.
And where is it? Just to mention.
Portugal?
No. Where is actually where is this island? There is
in the middle of the
Morocco.
ocean. Yeah, of course. It's close to Morocco, southern of Canaries Islands. Today we're here by a very lucky coincidence. We are here in Madeira together with Joana without planning anything, actually.
Yeah.
She was planning her journey. We were planning our journey. And then we just clashed into each other, basically.
We ended up together here in this room, doing an interview about what? About your country.
Yeah, it's a big country.
Yeah. So, as usual, we start with some questions that we already prepared.
Of course, because we never like to make trivial questions or, talk about the stuff everybody knows about, especially when it's a country in European Union, because we tend to assume that we know everything already, all right, all the touristic point of view. But today we have a real Portuguese, and we want to know something more authentic
from the inside, like a spy from the inside of the country. Tell us all the secrets of your country, something like that.
Well, of course, first she has to present herself.
Oh yeah, sure.
So,
Who are you?
Yeah. So hi guys, I'm 23 years old. I'm from Guimarães. It's a city where Portugal born. It's in the north of Portugal. And I'm like chemistry, of course. I'm doing my master's degree in molecular science and engineering in Lisbon. I was a scout. I assumed that I'm like an adventure girl. So I like to meet people and
make interviews.
Not at all, but I'm trying.
Yes, she was so happy to do this interview. We did not even.
She actually proposed to us. Let's make an interview together.
Yeah. We didn't want to do it.
Of course, we are not the kind of guys who just ask about.
Doing interviews at random people. So why are you here right now in Madeira then?
Okay, so my first thought was my next month will be quite hard in university because I'm doing my thesis. So, I need sometimes to stop and enjoy life. So it's my first travel alone here in Madeira, and it's my first time in Madeira. So why not just being alone and enjoy?
Why not just be alone and then meet us?
Yeah. Why not also? Yeah, that was my mindset of this travel.
Yeah,
And you're almost at the end of this travel here in Madeira.
Yeah,
How was it
unfortunately.
so far? You can say it.
Okay.
Was it good?
Yeah, for sure. But I just spent 2 days here in Madeira, so I didn't know a lot from this island. But the things that I can experience it was just amazing, and I met with amazing people, older than me, younger than me, from other countries like Italy, sorry.
Where are these Italians?
I
don't
never
know. Yeah, okay, go on.
Okay, so yeah, it was like I think I can say that is the best experience of my life.
Great, that's great. That's great. So
Wow.
guys,
Travel alone. Go ahead.
to Madeira,
Madeira.
especially Madeira is
And
really
taste bananas.
taste bananas.
Yeah, banana are good.
Check out
Here.
our last episode. It was really into it.
So let's delve into this
Yeah, let's
interview.
dive into the interview. As I mentioned before we started, we really like to make our interviewees very unsettled, like really not satisfied with the questions, because it's really weird questions, specific questions, because again, we want some authentic information. So the very first brief maybe introduction we can make is Portugal, we know, is a republic, very similar in a sense to Italy as a political arrangement and stuff. But we really like to know what is the geopolitical situation, like more specifically, what type of relationships are today existent between Portugal and other countries, if there is something noteworthy, let's say.
Okay. So nowadays, I think Portugal is passing to Portugal is receiving a lot of people from other countries, as Italy, a lot of Brazilian people, also African people from all the world, and they have several consequences for the Portuguese people, because it has some effect on the availability of the houses inside of the country, and this is one of the most problems that Portugal are facing. Of course, the government has his fault,
Yeah.
but
Not enough houses then? Not enough houses or not enough space so that they could
I
be
think there is
more-
not enough houses.
Okay.
And also the price go very high.
Yeah.
So
One thing
Portuguese
that-
people from here suffer a lot from this problem.
Yeah. One thing that I know is that people from our region, Marche, elderly people in particular, they tend to move when they reach their retirement to Portugal. Like elderly people
But
from
it's actually
Marche.
something
Like,
that changed
why?
very recently, because up to this, like I'm living in Portugal for some months now, and I kind of understood the reason, and it was a political maneuver, let's say, from here to ease the passage of elderlies from other countries to Portugal, because they decided not to tax the incoming retirement funds, the pensions basically. And this was of course very convenient, because here life used to be a bit cheaper than in Italy, so that with the same amount of money, monthly income, an elderly could live much better in Portugal. Of course now it's changing, and actually also there have been some political chaos lately, right? I think we will talk a little bit about that because it's interesting. So guys, we're not the only one in Italy. But this is very interesting, and actually I wanted to talk about what Joana just said about immigration in Portugal, because I found it extremely interesting as a phenomenon compared to what we have, for example, in Italy. Because in Portugal you have very peculiar situation. They're probably similar to what happens in France. since you had a very long history of colonization, there are many countries in the third world, like in many African countries, that speak Portuguese.
Yeah.
Right? And your
Right.
immigration, let's say the demographics of your immigrations, is mostly Portuguese speakers.
Yeah, usually yes. As I said, we have like the Africans. They usually talk Portuguese, right? And we also have Brazilians in a big amount. But just a curiosity, there is some. How did you say, like partidos políticos, like the
Political parties.
Parties, yeah.
How
Political parties.
parties?
Yeah, parties, like a party, like a feast,
Okay.
like a, yeah. That's
Okay,
it.
okay.
Yeah.
So what are you?
Yeah,
Should I
so
start?
go on, yeah.
Okay.
It's okay, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, just a curiosity, there is some political parties that defend that, for instance, Brazilian cannot be so accepted here in Portugal because the culture itself is very different. However, the language is the same. So there is kind of a fight with the immigration people and also the political parties and the Portuguese people itself. But I think we can rearrange something good in all this confusion.
Exactly. This is very interesting because if we compare what happens in Italy, most of the immigration in Italy is non-Italian speaker, right? So this is, I found it peculiar, but probably it's actually more common than what happens in Italy. Because France, I guess, it's more or less the same.
Yeah, in
because
France,
most of the. But also another fact about this kind of multiple nature of Portugal. So you have, as we said, you have multiple colonies, so you have a lot of Africans speaking Portuguese, you have the Brazilians, so there is also this kind of tricky relationship, let's say, because of course, I met several Brazilians in Portugal, and all of them really feel to be Brazilian. Like Brazil has its own culture, as you mentioned, has its own viewpoint about things, about politics, but still somehow for some people it's required to move from Brazil to find success in life.
Security.
And security, exactly.
Yeah.
So this is, of course, this poses some let's say challenges to modern Portugal. But another aspect that actually is more relevant also to us is the islands, because Azores and Madeira are Portugal territory. So they are properly Portugal country, part of the country. But still, they are extremely far. Like, not extremely, but still, we are in the middle
1
of
hour
the ocean.
by the airplane,
Yeah, 1 hour, or almost 1 hour and 30 minutes of airplane. So how was the relationship between the islanders, basically?
Okay, so first of all, highlands are independent of the continental Portugal. So they have their own rules, their own government, and when I think that it's like Portugal, but split in two. We have like the continental, and we do our own life, and then there is other opposite thing. There is the highlands, and there is no a strong relationship. I say that between these two places.
So there is not much exchange of people, for example.
Yeah. But usually the people from highlands love to live in highlands. And the continental people sometimes it also depends on the city itself, but usually they are not so passionate about the lifestyle and the views and
Would you say that you are in good relations with all these other islands, colonies?
Yeah, sure. I'm here in Madeira, and as I said, experiences is doing very, very well. And the people from Madeira are amazing.
Nice.
So yeah, today I get a bus ride of a Madeira person. So, and I didn't ask for it. He just said, "Oh, do you go to the airport? Then go with me."
Nice.
And I didn't pay anything. So yeah, it was very
nice.
They are nice.
Yeah, maybe the smaller community makes people be more
Nice.
nicer.
Yeah.
That's interesting. But I think there is a lot of young people from the islands that move to continental Portugal, right?
Yeah, I have a friend that she's from Madeira, but she studied in Lisbon. So imagine
So education is mostly focused in continent.
Yeah. There is a university in Açores, and I'm not sure, but maybe there is another one in Madeira. But in Açores, I'm sure that they have a university.
But here in the islands, do they have everything in order to live, or do they actually depend on strongly? But because when I was here, I was actually wondering while we were walking, how do they actually even get drinkable water? That's a thing, because they have to import it, and also same with the oil, same with the cars. If you need to build a road, that's a small island. I don't know if they have everything.
It's
here
a small island, but I think they have their own water. I think
how do they get it?
There is a brand just for water from Madeira.
There are many islands though, like Madeira is a big one, but all the others, where do they get it from? I mean, there must be a strong relation with Portugal and all the other islands, so...
Well, I don't know what is the government relationship itself about between the continental government and the government from the highlands, but I think there is some help in that point. But I think they are independent.
Yeah. Okay.
So they rearrange their own. Their own things.
All right. Well, we get to the end of the first part of this incredible interview about Portugal. From Madeira. So we're local guys. We're here for 4 years.
Yeah. We are in expedition. We you don't believe us? We are here. Damn.
But it's time for a song, because of course this is a radio and we need music. And of course we have an exceptional guest from Portugal. We need some exceptional Portuguese song for our break.
So the title of this song is, I will say it in Portuguese because it's better. So is Tantos Beijos por Dar. Okay, check the song please.
Signore e signori, vi lasciamo con questa magnifica canzone di speranza e di storia, perché è appunto ambientata a Guimarães, che è la città natale della nostra Joana, e a fra poco.
Foi tudo sopro,
soubemos cerrar-nos e amar.
Foi como se o tempo roubasse ao tempo sonho por sonhar. Tantas vezes
pudemos ver dentro de nós e escutar a nossa voz.
Nós somos mais feitos de encontros, nós somos nós, também nos outros. Romper o cerco, saltar o muro,
vencer o medo e sair do escuro. Já
são alvores de uma batalha. São clamores, são tambores que o vento espalha. São clamores, são tambores que o vento espalha. Tantos beijos por dar. Tem uma máscara, esta doença da ausência.
tantos beijos por dar,
Uma mesa à espera, tantos amigos por abraçar. Nós somos mais feitos de encontros, nós somos nós. chão, na pedra inteira.
Uma oliveira, um coração.
Guimarães, canta esta canção. Guimarães, canta esta canção. Nós somos mais, feitos de encontros, nós somos nós, também nos outros. Romper o cerco, saltar o muro, vencer o medo e sair do escuro. Já são albores de uma batalha. Soam tambores, soam tambores que o vento espalha. Soam tambores, soam tambores que o vento espalha. Nós somos mais, feitos de encontros, nós somos nós, também os outros. Romper o cerco, saltar o muro, vencer o medo e sair do escuro. Já são albores de uma batalha. Soam tambores, soam tambores que o vento espalha. Soam tambores, soam tambores que o vento espalha. Há tantos beijos por dar e para dar.
Ragazzi, avete appena ascoltato Tantos Beijos por Dar. The song was kindly suggested by our Portugal friend Joana, and we are here to continue the interview with her.
Magical interview.
Magical
in
mystery
this
ride.
Magical island. Because we have always to remind that we are in Madeira enjoying our time, and this is a beautiful island.
Yeah.
We suggest to visit Madeira and Portugal.
And eat bananas.
And talking about Portugal and places to visit, you mentioned that you come from Guimarães. That probably 99.99% of our listeners, if any,
Which is one listener.
if any, never heard about. We know that most famous cities in Portugal are Lisbon and Porto, of course, but Guimarães actually hides some secrets. You know, I dig a little bit about Guimarães. What
Yeah.
can you tell us about your city?
Well, my city is like my passion. It's a small city. It's a historical city. And I think the most beautiful thing in my city is the people. Because I think the people do the city itself.
Ah, okay, I see.
And
very nice.
the people usually are so friendly, and they can be also very aggressive. Like the way we talk is kind of aggressive sometimes, and we say a lot of bad words. It's true, I need to admit it. But in general, we are close to people, and we usually like to communicate with people. And for me, this is the best thing ever.
Yeah, this is very interesting and funny because in Lisbon, everybody keeps telling me that in the north, people are so ugly, horrible people, cold, close. But actually, this is not the truth, right?
Yeah, it's just the view from outside. If you know the people, you would say the opposite thing. So.
And what about the history of Guimarães? Because I know there is some peculiar aspect about Guimarães that it's worth mentioning, in my opinion, right?
So Guimarães is recognized as I said previously, the city where Portugal borns, and due to the Dom Afonso Henriques, it was the first king of Portugal, and a lot of people come to Guimarães to discover all the history and the castle. We have a castle, okay?
Yes.
So go visit the castle, and all that historical spirit that we also have in Guimarães. So you are between the past and also the future in the same city. So it's a magic feeling, I think.
This is interesting because I think that Dom Afonso Henriques was king around like the year 1000, something like that, if I'm not mistaken. I researched something, but I'm really bad at with dates and numbers, especially years. But it's very peculiar history, actually, the one of Portugal, because at the beginning, the peninsula was mainly dominated in the south by Arabic populations and in the north by Spanish princes, right? At some point, they gave this little place, this little territory to this Dom Afonso, and he decided, let's conquer all the Portugal. I wish. And it just started, right? It just go straight for it.
Well, I need to admit that I'm not quite good in history, but I will say just my little knowledge about this. I'm sure that Dom Afonso Henriques fight with his mom. So like a real fight in the past. Can you imagine like two big groups fighting with each other? Wow.
Horses and swords and all, right?
Yeah. With arrows and all that instruments.
Yeah, super cool.
And I think Dom Afonso Henriques win that fight, and that in that point the city was born, you know, and that's the principal moment in history about Guimarães ever.
That's interesting. Actually, I have a related question, but maybe you already gave the answer. Is this the moment of history, the historical moment, let's say, that in your opinion is most relevant to your region or Portugal in general? Or maybe there is something else that in your opinion is worth mentioning or might be maybe more close to us, very important?
I think we you should repeat the question.
I have a related question actually.
Yeah.
Because I was curious. Well, this is very crucial point, of course, in the history of Portugal, because it literally is the birth of Portugal, so it's pretty crucial, right? And but I was curious. Maybe there is some other historical event closer to us that might be also worth mentioning. It might be of some relevance today.
Yeah, there is one that for Portugal and now Portugal in general is the most important thing that happened in the past. That was when the democracy started, and there was no fight, there was no guns. It was a peaceful fight.
Wow.
Yeah, there was some people from the, how did you say, exército, like
The army.
The what?
Army.
Okay, there was some people from the army.
Yeah.
That just think, okay, we need to stop these guys from the government, and they talk by radio at that years, and there was a song that cannot be released in the past because, I can explain in English.
Well, when we talk about history, it's pretty hard because, of course, you need to express a lot of things. But just to put some context for the listeners, this happened very recently, like it's last century.
Yeah. And the most crazy thing about all this is that was no blood, no guns. So we can, in the past, my past did this revolution in Portugal without no fight. So this has a meaning, you know.
Of course. The will to make peace. And stop it.
And it can be possible. You can believe in it because it happened in the past.
Because for our listeners, Portugal was not part, for example, of the Second World War. Not many people know it. And because it was actually dominated by Salazar, right? The dictator. And in 1975,
April
25th of April is a
Exactly.
very important day.
Exactly.
Also in Italy, actually, because we
Really?
got
Oh.
it's the Liberation Day when the
Milan was
the
liberated
Allies,
by
the Allies
the
came to
Allies.
Italy
Oh.
and got rid of fascists and Nazis that were left in Italy. Whereas here,
date.
I didn't know.
it is the date
We
in
have a
which
lot in common.
You freed yourself of the dictatorship, right?
Yeah.
And
It's
this
the
is very
same
important.
thing that happened here in Portugal.
And in fact, in Lisbon, one of the most iconic bridges in Lisbon is named after 25th of April.
yeah. I cross that river every single day.
So this is very, very interesting. And yeah, the spirit of Portuguese fighters. It's very interesting. It's a very interesting question. But now let's go to more, like to softer and more like comfortable topics. So right now, history is very tricky.
Intensive, yeah.
Yes, it's not it's not the best to go towards the end of the interview. Let's talk about one of the aspects of Portugal that makes it more attractive to tourists, for example, which is food, right?
Food. We have a lot to
And
talk about
guys,
food.
from home, you really must know that I am struggling here in Portugal to defend Italian cuisine. Here,
Hey,
the Portuguese are so proud of their own recipes and cuisine. You have no idea. So, but I must admit, some of the foods they have are actually good. And yeah, I must admit that. I wouldn't say it's better, but because there's no better, no worse. It's just everybody is good in doing what it does. But let's talk about Portuguese cuisine. We all know pastéis de nata. And
Yeah, that's dessert.
Do we all know? I actually do not. I've never tried the Portuguese
Oh, you should
food.
try pastel de nata. It's very good.
Yeah,
It's like a cream
tell me about
inside.
it. Yeah.
Well, it's kind of yellow and have like a massa folhada. I don't know how to say
Yeah,
it.
it's a sort of, I have no idea. It's sort of a cupcake, let's say. But
Okay.
instead of the dough, it has the...
It's
Yeah, in
like
Italian we call it also pasta sfogliata or
Yeah.
pasta sfoglia. And it's filled with nata, which is cream.
Mm-hmm.
And on top it has cinnamon, in some cases.
Yeah.
And there is huge claims about what's the best pastel de nata
Yeah,
in Portugal. There are some production sites that are really fighting every year. And guys, it's really crazy. It's like if in Italy there was a fight about like best pizza in Italy.
Wow.
Actually, I
Yeah,
think
we
there
can
is.
compare to it.
And something like that.
So it's actually the same, you would say? Wow.
Like the same spirit, I think, yes.
The same spirit. Wow.
But like in the north.
Okay, in the north. So usually here in Portugal, the kitchen itself works with a lot of massa folhada. Well, you can say it in Italian language. And also in Guimarães we have a small cake with the cream and with massa folhada, but it's a massa folhada much more so thinner, like
Okay, thinner.
yeah, thinner. Well, I never tasted, so
You never
I'm
taste?
I'm failing
You are
because
ashamed. You must be ashamed.
yeah because
You tasted it, Max?
No, of course not.
Oh,
I was never in Guimarães.
because there is something inside ingredient that I don't like. So I have an
How's it called?
excuse.
How's it called? This cake.
Sorry,
The name of the cake.
tortas.
Tortas
Tortas,
Guimarães.
okay.
Yeah.
Can you describe it for the listeners? What is it? Is it sugar?
No, I think that is from a plant. But
It's like the inside part of a plant.
well, because in Guimarães we have the chili is like orange. It's not that color, so
So guys, basically Guimarães, the city that hides the origins of Portugal itself, also hides mysterious ingredients.
Mysterious plants.
Tortas de Guimarães.
Actually,
mysterious
we met
sweets.
a lot of mysterious plants here. Huh?
Yeah, that's true. In
That's not the
Madeira,
other
I think
one.
it's pretty tropical.
Yeah. But okay, maybe you can have a look at it and then we put it later inside the episode. It's not a matter. But
oh, it's like this. Sorry, Do you are looking for these orange things like?
Okay, that's the color.
Yeah.
Okay, we are seeing it right now here on the screen.
Volta amêndoa e Sheila.
Is Sheila,
is this
okay.
Orange, thing.
Well, if you guys are curious to know what Sheila looks like, just go grab your phone and look for it. So
but look,
it's the main ingredient of this food you were talking, like this cake.
This tortas de
Tortas
Guimarães.
de Guimarães. Okay, so which is the typical cake of the city where Joana is from. So I have actually a question about traditions. So that one of the things that always I like the most about countries are traditions. Of course, we don't expect you to know like some fancy stories, but if you actually do know something which is very, very traditional, I don't know, maybe a traditional party, a festival, or maybe a traditional story, a legend, something like that, would you tell us?
Yeah, sure. Well, I will tell my experience from Guimarães.
Yes,
Okay.
that's what we
Okay.
want to know.
Yeah.
The real information.
Yeah, so when you want to go in Guimarães, go in November. Okay, it's very cold in November in Guimarães, but there is it's not a party, it's a tradition that all the people goes out and occupy all the streets in Guimarães, and they play, how did you say, like caixa? It's
the drums.
What? It's not battery.
Okay.
It's not the.
Yeah, like it's the one you have with yourself.
Yeah, and in Portuguese we say caixas, bombos.
Okay.
So-
Bombos, like the small ones.
Okay, bongi.
Yeah, it's like a big one,
Yeah, yeah.
and you
Yeah.
can carry the.
The
that
big
ones,
drums,
that's
okay.
ones.
So basically similar to what in Italy we have when there is like a parade.
Yeah, parades.
But this is interesting. And why they do that?
Yeah,
in
it's
November?
a very, very old story. This traditional thing happened more than 100 years, so imagine. And this is, I think this was created by São Nicolau. So as I said previously, Guimarães is like a historical city, and we have historical traditionals yet, like this one. And it happens in November 29.
Okay.
So it's mandatory to go in that
And
day.
everybody plays, or it's just some people that?
Yeah, most of them play. There are some
that's
people
cool.
that are
Nice.
just seeing what is
And do you play?
happening.
Do you play the
yeah,
drum?
yeah,
You
yeah.
do? Wow.
yeah.
That's great.
And there is a specific
Instrument?
a talk like
A rhythm.
yeah,
a
rhythm.
piece.
Yeah,
Okay.
and imagine like a city full of people
All playing it.
all playing a lot of
that's
noise,
incredible.
a lot of noise.
That's
so
really
imagine
cool.
also
Okay.
it is very very cold. So all the people are with the jackets and playing and smiling a lot. Well, there is not a point in this tradition, but it's a tradition. So
Yeah,
we should
nice.
keep it.
Yeah, that's super interesting.
Yeah.
So I would like to finalize the interview with one final question. Maybe it's the hardest one.
Ooh, let's
Okay,
do
so
it.
get ready for this one. You love Portugal, that is plain, and especially your city and the north regions, of course. Let's imagine that you start traveling all around the globe for some reason, for work, for study, or even just for fun. What's that one thing that would always bring with yourself from Portugal or from your city, for example? It can either be a physical object that you think is of some value, or a tradition, as you mentioned, or a food, or even just, I don't know, a state of mind. Like, what's something typical that you think you wouldn't find anywhere else?
Okay, that's a great question. And I will talk about the state of mind.
Okay.
I think that is the principal thing. Portuguese people normally have this spirit to always trying to find the best. And best is the life quality. So Portuguese people usually works a lot. sometimes they have no money. They don't have enough money, but they trying and they still trying and they still trying and they get out of the country. They come back, but they still like, I don't know, like how to translate this feeling. Yeah,
they keep trying.
Yeah, and I think this is also very peculiar from in the north, because it's my experience. But I think in Portugal in general, the people are this way, and this is what I.
Nice.
What
That's
I
such a
feel.
beautiful
That's
answer.
interesting. That's interesting. I wouldn't even know what to say about Italy, for example. I really should think really hard
In
about
Portuguese,
it.
well, in Guimarães, we have a word that is called raça. So raça is like a attitude, like a woman or a guy, whatever, with the attitude, with okay, it's no. No is no. There is no yes. You know, like that strong feeling, and I will get it, and then I will get it anyway. You know, like, and yeah, I think this is the best thing that describes Guimarães.
What's the word again?
Okay, I will say it again. Raça.
Raça.
Yeah, as you said, like, it's a strong name.
Yeah, because it's really angry people say like.
It's not French, it's Portuguese, alright? Raça, yeah.
Raça.
So you would bring all with yourself your northern raça
Yeah.
anywhere you go.
Yeah.
And pastéis de nata.
yeah, pastéis de Natal. I could.
Nice. So this was a very beautiful interview.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for giving us your time.
Next time we do the interview, but in Italy.
Oh yeah, you have to come visit us,
Officially
and we will come visit
invited.
you. I think the interview is over.
I think it's over. Yes.
Maybe we can greet our listeners with one final song from your country.
So this is a typical song from Portugal in general. The singer is called Toy, and the song is Coração Não Tem Idade. So listen and we will enjoy for sure.
E questo per oggi è tutto.
Per oggi è tutto,
signori, ragazzi.
Saluti da Madeira.
Saluti da Nino
e Max.
come sempre. Alla prossima puntata. Ciao.